moments, everything else falls away. The way the world sees us. The way we...
Welcome back to Top 10 Nerd, everyone. I'm your host, Johnny Rogers. Before we begin, hit that thumbs up button if you have a thumb, and comment down below with what superheroes you wouldn't want to see become a villain. With that, let's get to today's list of the top 10 scariest superheroes who might be villains. In at number 10, Spectre. This deceased and then resurrected detective known as Spectre is a hero with a great power and little limitations. Spectre possesses the spirit of the god's vengeance and is charged with punishing the guilty people of the world. He wields limitless abilities and can reshape reality, alter time, space, and change matter. So essentially he can do whatever he wants. Now imagine if he turned to a villainous lifestyle. With that kind of power he would be unstoppable, and because he's already dead, virtually invincible. Number 9, Ant-Man. While it may sound strange for Ant-Man to become a villain, think about it for a minute. He started as a petty criminal before he even became the Ant-Man, and was even arrested and sentenced to 3 years in prison. If Ant-Man began using the suit to pursue a life of crime and villainy, just imagine the damage that he could do. He could easily shrink down and weasel his way into whatever person or hero he wanted, making it easier to take out foes from the inside by destroying their internal organs without them even knowing who's responsible. Also, let's not forget when he transformed into that giant version of himself in Captain America: Civil War. With that large state, he could do some serious damage. In at number 8, the Hulk. We have already seen the sheer amount of damage that the Hulk can do. He's unstable, he's powerful, and when he takes over Bruce Banner, you can kiss that logic goodbye. Now imagine if the Hulk went full evil. Good luck, society. Good luck, world. If people are constantly trying to fight him, be it military, superhero, or whoever, it would only make him more angry. And we know the angrier he becomes, the stronger he gets. If you want to see what would happen if the Hulk went to the dark side, look up the comic book storyline Future Imperfect. It shows a bearded Hulk who calls himself Maestro as he takes over the world. Sadly, the world doesn't really survive his destruction. In at number 7, Storm. Storm is quite possibly one of the strongest X-Men, and at one point was even worshipped as a goddess. She's even able to control the weather, and as a result can create catastrophic damage. The only thing preventing her from not doing this is her moral compass. If that somehow went away, she could conjure up tornadoes, blizzards, lightning storms, essentially anything she wanted to destroy the earth. You know, if global warming doesn't beat her to it. In at number 6, Batman. Bruce Wayne not only has the power of his Batman technologies, but he's also a massively wealthy figure in Gotham. Luckily for that city, he's on their side, even if his Batman costume is scary as all hell. Plus, he's literally dressed as an animal that most people have terrible nightmares from. And he as well is guided by a moral compass and is essentially against killing people, which perhaps the only reason why his enemies are still alive. Imagine if he just decided to become evil. He could potentially be Gotham's top mob boss, and not too many people could prevent it. He's a master of martial arts and a brilliant detective, so solving his crimes would be difficult in and of itself. In at number 5, Ghost Rider. Johnny Blaze is inches away from becoming a villain. He's possessed by the spirit of vengeance, and while Johnny tries to make the Ghost Rider help people, the Rider is a demon that couldn't care less. If he allowed the demon to fully take the wheel, it could be very painful for any hero or regular person in his way. Mainly because he possesses the penance stare, which forces his enemy to relive the pain of every person they've hurt. Number 4, Scarlet Witch. The Scarlet Witch possesses some very unpredictable and intensely powerful abilities, which even to the Avengers makes her a risk factor. In the comic books, she's even had her fair share of moments as a villain, most notably in the House of M when she tricked many heroes into becoming villains themselves. If she became a real villain in the MCU, things could get squirrely, especially with her ability to alter the very nature of reality itself. In at number 3, Wolverine. Although he is one of the good guys, Wolverine possesses a temper that even scares his teammates every now and again. His extreme senses, rapid healing, and unbreakable claws have made him a target for villains to capture and brainwash. Wolverine has been used for more evil deeds than he can probably count, always trying to manipulate him into turning into a villain. Number 2, Superman. Kal-El is upheld as the true hero of truth and justice. Because of that, we need to remind ourselves that he holds back a lot from hurting people. However, if Superman went rogue, much like he did in the comic book storyline Injustice, things would be fatal for the planet. In the comic book, he uses an authoritarian approach after reaching his breaking point and goes on to rule the planet. He's so powerful that if he were to be a villain, it would be game over for Earth. Lastly, at our number 1 spot, Charles Xavier. As we saw in Logan, Professor X killed most of the heroes on the planet in the disaster at Westchester just because his dementia was acting up. Even the government has classified him as a weapon of mass destruction. The only thing stopping him from doing purposeful evil acts is his morals and his drive to use his powers for good. If he used Cerebro, he could access every single mind on the planet and do insurmountable damage. Everything from restructuring memories to completely changing their personality. Now let's entertain your brain with some comments, shall we? Cheesy James says, "Hey Johnny, go back to IO." Well, welcome to the channel, Cheesy, and for those of you who don't know what he's talking about, search up Inform Overload and you can watch me host over there too. John Davison says, "Your vids are so dope." Thank you, sir. Appreciate the dope comment. Red Fire says, "Hi, love your vids. Happy to have you here." And that has been the top 10 scariest superheroes who might be villains. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, then share it with your friends. Plus, let us know down in the comments section which superhero you think could be a villain. If you happen to be new here, hit that subscribe button so you can join our nerd family and be updated whenever we put out our newest videos. Also, if you want more videos like this one, just click the playlist on the screen. From Top 10 Nerd, I'm Johnny Rogers, and until next time, take care.